'Tis the season to be podcasting. Stay inside with a warm beverage and a hot microphone. If you're interested, Spotify can help you out. They've got a platform that lets you make one, distribute it, and earn money all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So you've already got the equipment necessary to start recording today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify, Apple, Google, and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&A and polls are an excellent way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. Best of all, it's completely free. I switched Dorky, Geeky, Nerdy over to Spotify for Podcasters, and I haven't regretted it. The analytics are fantastic, and the new tools for hosting and updating the feed are way more than I could do self-hosting. Now, it's your turn. Head to podcasters.spotify.com and read all about it. Then, let me know what you're podcasting all about. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing, fly scarce heard among the guns below. I'm Brian Rollins, and this is the Dorky, Geeky, Nerdy Trivia Podcast. November 11th is Veterans Day here in the US, and Armistice Day in Canada and the UK. Both holidays commemorate the end of World War I. We're honoring it by giving you 30 trivia questions about the First World War. Let's get going. The Dorky Round. Number 1. Prior to World War II, World War I was known as what? The Great War, or the War to End All Wars. Number 2. Which country had the largest army during the war? Russia. More than 12 million soldiers. They would lose over 3/4. Number 3. Whose assassination is considered the ignition point of World War I? Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Number 4. What German invention was responsible for sinking over 6,500 ships? The U-boat. Number 5. In what year did the U.S. enter the war? (1917), 3 years after it had begun. Number 6. Manfred Albrecht Freiherr von Richthofen was better known as who? The Red Baron. Number 7. Many soldiers came home with shell shock. What do we call it today? Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Number 8. What multinational organization was created in the aftermath of World War I? The League of Nations. Number 9. What was the name of the rigid airships invented and built in Germany? Zeppelins. Number 10. In May 1917, Congress passed the Selective Service Act, creating what? The draft. The Geeky round. Number 1. The Zimmermann telegram was sent by Germany to entice what country to enter the war? Mexico. Germany wanted them to invade the U.S. Number 2. What future president encouraged Americans to create victory gardens? Herbert Hoover. At the time, he was the U.S. Food Administrator. Number 3. Tanks were initially called what? Land ships. The name was changed to disguise them as water storage. Number 4. What document was signed at the closing of the war? The Treaty of Versailles. Number 5. What stretched approximately 25,000 miles from the English Channel to Switzerland? The Trench Network. Number 6. Who campaigned for re-election with the slogan, "He kept us out of war"? Woodrow Wilson. America would enter the war a month after his second inauguration. Number 7. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk marked the end of what country's involvement in World War I? Russia. Revolutions and civil war left them unable to continue. Number 8. The HMS Furious was converted into one of the first what? Aircraft carriers. Number 9. What religious leader attempted to negotiate a peace proposal in August 1917? Pope Pius XV. Number 10. What 1929 novel by Eric Marie Remarque described the grueling conditions of German soldiers during the war? All Quiet on the Western Front. The Nerdy Round. Number 1. British tanks were sorted into male and female types. What was the difference? Male tanks had cannons, female tanks had machine guns. Number 2. What terrorist group was responsible for Archduke Ferdinand's assassination? The Black Hand. Number 3. During World War I, what Native American language was used to confound German codebreakers? Choctaw. Number 4. In April 2018, French President Emmanuel Macron gifted the U.S. with a tree from what battleground? Belleau Wood. The Cecile oak was for the 100th anniversary of the battle. Number 5. World War I marked the collapse of what 4 empires? The German, the Russian, the Ottoman, and the Austro-Hungarian. Number 6. What disease accounted for 1/3 of troop fatalities during World War I? The Spanish flu. Number 7. Who was the British Prime Minister at the end of World War I? David Lloyd George. Number 8. What country first used gas weapons during the war? The French, though they only used tear gas. Number 9. What African American unit was awarded the French Croix de Guerre, but were largely ignored by the United States? The Harlem Hellfighters. Number 10. After 123 years of occupation, what country re-emerged as an independent nation in the fallout of World War I? Poland. I am young, I am 20 years old, yet I know nothing of life but despair, death, fear, and fatuous superficiality cast over an abyss of sorrow. That quote is from our book of the week, All Quiet on the Western Front. I hope this episode was challenging and educational. I'm a huge history nerd, so don't be surprised to see more episodes like this in the future. Speaking of the future, here's your clue for next week. What sci-fi comedy series began in 1978 and had incarnations on TV, on the radio, in books, as a film, and as a video game? I'm your host, Brian Rollins. To all our veterans out there, thank you for your service. And to all the rest of you, thanks for listening.